Tuscarora State Park, my 44th stop on this journey to explore each and every state park in Pennsylvania. Nestled in Schuylkill County, this park spans over 1,600 acres beneath Locust Mountain, with its centerpiece being the 96-acre Tuscarora Lake. The lake was built by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers in the 1960s as part of a regional flood control project. And by 1971, the land was officially transferred to the state, and Tuscarora opened as a state park, carrying the name of the Tuscarora people who passed through this region after the Tuscarora War in the early 1700s. I arrived here on a moody spring weekend, staying in one of the park's rustic cottages. But the real reason I drove across the state was the Spirit of Tuscarora Trail, a nearly 4-mile path with a story all of its own. Back in 1989, a man known simply as Pap was out canoeing on Tuscarora Lake when he fell in love with the area. That moment sparked a mission that would keep him busy over the next 6 years of his life. Crawling on hands and knees through thick forest, Pap began carving out what would become the trail we walk today. One man, 6 years, and countless hours of labor. His dedication didn't end there though. Nearly 40 years after coming to this area, Pap still works on this trail at least once a week. As he told me over the phone, volunteering isn't bad because you can stop working when you feel like it. But anyone who hikes here knows he never really stops. The spirit tree is still the heart of the trail, standing as a symbol of Pap's devotion and the spirit of the forest itself. From there, the path winds toward Locust Creek, then onward to the lake where I linked up with the Crow Trail and the Lakeview Trail, crossing the dam and circling back to the cottage. The spirit of Tuscarora is alive in the land, in the water, and in the people who care for it, and no one embodies that more than Pap. So, if you see him out there, please make sure to say thank you. This is Tuscarora State Park, and as always, enough talking, let's get to hiking. Well, good morning everyone, and welcome back to an all-new episode of Maxim Outdoors. Currently, I'm standing here along the shores of Tuscarora Lake, continuing on with my Eastern Pennsylvania road trip. And this episode marks the 44th state park documentation for the channel. And as you probably guessed, we are here in none other than Tuscarora State Park. So what are we going to be doing today? We're going to be hiking nearly 6 miles, hiking all the way around the perimeter of the lake, and also checking out a pretty unique section of the park known as the Spirit of the Tuscarora Trail. We'll be keeping our eyes peeled for a pretty unique tree that the trail is named after. But we'll be heading on down past the beach, rolling around, and then eventually we will meander our way back up to the cottage where I am staying tonight. But just a beautiful mid-April morning here. You can see some fog passing by, the trees are budding, the birds are singing, the fish are jumping. What more could you ask for? So let's get hiking, enough talking. State park number 44 for the channel, Tuscarora. Let's go. All right, well, welcome to the Spirit of Tuscarora Trail. As you can see, we are a little bit higher above the lake as we hike along this ridgeline. We're going to continue on meandering through these white pines, hemlocks, and every once in a while, a nice little rhododendron thicket. This trail is somewhere between 3.2 miles and 4, depending on the route you go and what publication you read. But I did want to shine a little light on one of the volunteers that keep this trail so pristine. Pat Nouse, I believe is how you say his last name, has been maintaining this trail since 1989, allowing hikers like us to come out and experience just pristine conditions here along Tuscarora Lake. So this is the Spirit of Tuscarora, and I have been wanting to do this trail now for quite some time. So let's take it all in, let's soak it all in, and just have an excellent moody April day out here on the trail. Let's go check out the Spirit of Tuscarora Trail. What do you say? It's a sensory overload out here. You can hear the train whistles, eagles are calling. Oh, there goes the eagle. There he goes. You guys probably can't see him, but wow. What a hike. Well, as you can see behind me, we have just popped out of yet another rhododendron tunnel, and in front of me here, we get our first view of Locust Creek. We're going to say goodbye to the lake for a few miles before we wrap back around, but I think we're going to get some really nice views of Locust Creek here as the trail progresses. So let's go check it out. Alrighty, well, we have made it here to the banks of the beautiful Locust Creek here. Check out some of these views. As soon as I walked up, they look like native trout swimming away. Unfortunately, though, it looks like this hemlock has just recently fallen. But not only do we have Locust Creek here, we have found the spirit tree. This is what the trail is named after. Check out this. Unfortunately, it's not really a tree anymore. It's more of a stump. But here it is. This is where the trail gets its name from, the spirit tree. So whenever you come out to hike this, try and find this old guy. But yeah, incredible hike so far. We're gonna keep rolling on down the trail. I just wanted to show you the creek and the spirit tree. Almost looks like a face. All right, let's keep going. Alrighty, nothing quite like a nice little stroll along a creek in the morning. It has been a pretty moody day so far. It starts raining, it stops, it starts again. But we are nearing the end of the Spirit of Tuscarora Trail here. And I wanted to give a little shout out. The person that actually recommended this trail to me goes by the name of Quiet John Out and About. He's another YouTuber. John, if you're watching, thank you. And if you can, go give him a subscribe. He is nearing 1,000 subscribers. I think he's around 600 right now, but it's free, it's easy, it takes a second. So give John a subscribe if you can. And second, I know I already touched upon this, but big shout out to Pat for maintaining this just amazing trail system here. Kudos to you. Like I said, without volunteers, us hikers wouldn't have much to do. So yeah, we're gonna continue on. We're gonna do a little bit of road hiking before linking back up with the Lakeshore Trail, I think it's called. But yeah, one last look at the Spirit of Tuscarora Trail. It was a good one, highly recommend it. Welcome to the Crow Trail. We are now on the opposite side of the creek, Locust Creek, and the lake, on our way back to the cottage. Speaking of the cottage, if maybe you want to see what that's all about. I'll be coming out with a video on that here shortly. The park also has a campground and some yurts. So yeah, look for that video to drop here shortly. But anyway, I said I would touch upon some of the history here in Tuscarora State Park. Obviously the name Tuscarora you hear a lot, especially in this part of the state. You have Tuscarora State Park, Tuscarora State Forest, Tuscarora Creek, Tuscarora Mountain, and those names are all derived from an old Indian tribe that used to call this area home for a few years at least. Eventually they joined up with the Iroquois Five Nations, and obviously you know what happened to the Native Americans in this area. They were all pretty much expelled and pushed up north. So a bit of a sad story, but that is where this state park gets its name from, the Tuscarora Indian tribe. And to fast forward a few hundred years to the 1900s, this area was just used and abused. They found anthracite coal here. This is coal country. We are just out of the town of, outside of the town of Tamaqua. And once they found anthracite coal, they came up here, mined the area, cut down all the trees, and now, over 100 years later, look at this place. This park is really growing on me. I had my doubts, but this is gonna be up there for one of my favorites, at least in recent memory. So yeah, they found anthracite coal, mined all throughout this region, cut down all the trees, used that to reinforce the mines, and this was just a barren wasteland. Hard to imagine, but here we are now in 2025, and we have this beautiful state park. This whole swath of land, thousands of acres, were set aside. A family bought it. They bought this region as well as Locust Lake. And just a little teaser, me and the Wandering Woodsman and I will be hiking Locust Lake tomorrow morning. That video will be coming out next week. So if you aren't subscribed, please hit that button. That'll be State Park number 45 for the channel. But yeah, enough yapping. I'm gonna take in the trail here as we start our trek on back to the cottage. So I'll show you anything interesting along the way. All right, well, continuing along the Crow Trail, as you see, it is a little uneventful compared to the Spirit of Tuscarora Trail. We have been following what looks to be an old road as we pass on through some of these rhododendron thickets. Pulled out the park map and I figured I would read to you a little description of the trail. So it said, this old dirt road passes through many habitats, including mature deciduous forest, pine, and larch plantation, grass fields, and overgrown meadows. This trail ends at the southern shore of Tuscarora Lake. So after we finish up the Crow Trail, we'll be dropping onto the Lakeview Trail, and I'm assuming we will get some nice views of Tuscarora Lake. So this is 1.3 miles, so we have almost made it to the halfway point. So let's continue on. As you can see, we have made it upon the Lakeview Trail. Some nice views of Tuscarora Lake on through the tree line there. You can even make out the beach that we hiked across nearly 3 or 4 hours ago, as well as the yurts perched upon the ridgeline off in the distance. The cottage that I'm staying at is just a stone's throw away from those yurts, so that is the ultimate goal. And then if you peek on through the trees, you can see the dam off in the distance. So we're going to continue along the Yellow Blaze Trail here. We'll traverse across the dam and we will be back at the cottage. But overall, an excellent day. The rain has held off. We've seen a ton of wildlife, including deer, turkey, salamanders, and just a ton of songbirds. You can hear a woodpecker off in the distance as I'm standing here. But yeah, we're going to continue on here and push through the final section of this, I don't know, 6-mile trail, we'll say. So let's bang out the last mile and a half. And here we are, crossing yet another Pennsylvania State Park dam here. Our journey, our expedition around Tuscarora Lake has nearly wrapped up here. You can see the beach off in the distance. We still have to go around that little cove, but we are nearly there. Get some nice views of, I believe it's called Locust Ridge. You can see some giant hemlock up along the hillside there. And then if we take a peek on over this, you can see where Locust Creek continues on downstream. So you can imagine this stream would have just carved right on through here before this area was dammed. I don't know if I said it earlier, but this park was opened in 1971. So imagine what this would have looked like back in the 70s, pre-dam building. But yeah, we're going to continue on. We really don't have that much left to do distance wise, so I will most likely see you back at the cottage. But yeah, here we are, Tuscarora Lake. We walked around this entire thing. Pretty wild. All right, well, home sweet home. As you can see, we have made it back to the cottage area, which will also mean that we wrapped up today's hike. Just looked at the phone. We are a little over 7 miles for the day. So overall, pretty solid hiking adventure. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed State Park number 44 for the channel. Be sure and say thank you to Pap down in the comments for maintaining that trail and doing his volunteering service, because like I said already 2 or 3 times, without folks like that, we wouldn't have places like this to explore. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna say goodbye here from Tuscarora State Park. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, because Wandering Woodsman and I are gonna be tackling park number 45 next week, Locust Lake. So as always, hit that like button, leave me a comment, and I will see you on the next one. Maxim Outdoors, signing out.